Palm Sunday, the Triumphal Entry. Jesus is getting ready to enter Jerusalem during Passover week. He's just raised Lazarus from the dead a few days ago. The crowds are gathering. They know he's coming. This man who raises the dead, the great Messiah. It's going to be a great moment, but it's not quite what we would expect. It was interesting walking down the Mount of Olives along the same path that Jesus would have taken during his triumphal entry and just experiencing a little bit of what it must have been like back then.
Joseph, this path that we're going to walk down would have been the same path that Jesus rode down on the donkey when he came into the Jerusalem on the triumphal entry. He would have rode down this path and into the Golden Gate, which is straight ahead, and into the temple.
Tomb of the Prophets is there.
So would he have had the little bridge that used to be there, or was the bridge later?
I don't know.
I feel like it was later than some general wanted to be on the bridge.
I don't know. But, in the Bible, there is, when they were saying, what were they shouting to him?
Hosanna?
Hosanna,
Comes in the name of the Lord.
you can see there's a pretty steep little hill.
And yeah, you'll want to be on the sidewalk, and you will want to hold the rail, probably.
When he, I'm trying to explain to you, there's a song, I can't remember which one, I think it was 118, that I'll look it up when we get down here to this halfway point. Yeah, but this shout that they were making was part of the song, and half of the song, it was to be read by the antiphonal reading, where you would divide into two groups. One group would say one part, and another group would say the next verse, and it would go back and forth. Kind of like
a responsive
a responsive.
Is it where he says
Yes.
he comes in humble, on a donkey?
No, that's in Zechariah.
Oh,
This is a psalm that they would have said in a service, where you would have read responsibly one side and the other side. They kind of did this, remember, also at Mount Ebal and Gerizim, when they entered the land, and one side of the mountain would proclaim the curses, and the other side of the mountain would proclaim the blessings. That's right, I remember. Okay, so this psalm that they would be quoting, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, they were expecting the response to that to come from Jerusalem. And they did not get it. The priests and them were saying, shut up, be quiet, don't say anything. And he said, even if the rocks cry out, even if the rocks will cry out if they don't say, the praise.
So that's
they
when
were,
he
they
said,
were saying they were speaking the psalm and expecting to get a response back, and they didn't get that response. They got mum.
So this is the Dominus Flevit Chapel, and it overlooks Jerusalem. It is here supposedly that Jesus, looking at Jerusalem, wept over the holy city. It reads in Matthew chapter 23, verses 37 to 39, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you that kill the prophets and stone those who were sent to you. How often have I longed to gather your children as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, and you refused. So be it, your house will be left to you desolate, for I promise you shall not see me any more until you say, blessings on whom comes in the name of the Lord. So this is the view that Jesus had as he came into Jerusalem that day. It's a good walk down the hill, and the hill is very steep, very narrow. Of course, these walls wouldn't have been there at the time that Jesus came down. But if you could imagine removing the walls and crowds of people around, and coming around the corner, and there's Jerusalem. just right ahead of you. It's not a long walk per se, but it is a very interesting one. At this point today, of course, there's churches and chapels. Over on the right side behind those trees is an Orthodox monastery now. But at the time, without this wall here, Jesus would have been looking to the left onto the Garden of Gethsemane, which is right down here at the bottom of the hill. He's looking out at a city where they're cheering him now, but he knows in a week he's going to die. He's coming down the hill to a place where he knows in just a few days he's going to be arrested. He knows what the future holds, even though everybody around him doesn't. He knows what his plan and his purpose is, even though everybody around him doesn't. And as he's taking his steps, entering the city, riding on a colt, a young donkey, being hailed as the king, being hailed as the conqueror, little do they realize that what he's there to conquer isn't a physical kingdom, but it's the kingdom of his heart, of our hearts, to build a kingdom within us. So this Palm Sunday, I encourage you. Which kingdom are you letting God build in your life? His kingdom? Or are you trying to build yours? Let him change your heart and change the kingdom that you're focused on.